Hello, my name is Emmanuel Ugarte, and this is my presentation on everyday challenges of being a mechanic. Every car owner has been to see their local mechanic on many occasions, whether it be a routine oil change or something major. We all know we can count on our trusted mechanic to take care of our car in need. This presentation will explain the hardships that many mechanics face in their jobs day in and day out. More often than not, mechanics will have to work more than 60 hours a week. After they have finished their initial task, then the mechanic will have to clean their bay, help other mechanics in the shop, and replenish their supplies. This can be the difference in an 8 and 12-hour workday. Injuries in the job can result from mechanics being tired, having dangerous work conditions, and being under stress. Shop owners have tasks that need to be completed, and oftentimes they will end up having to stay 2 or 3 hours after closing time. Customer service can be hard in some situations. When customers are angry, the day can be ruined in an instant. The work environment can be dangerous. There are many safety factors that come into place. Many times when people come into the shop, it may seem that they have a minor issue, but once the car begins to be worked on, there may be underlying issues that can cause the job to take a lot longer than expected. If there is a walk-in at 1 that ends up taking 3 hours, the 2 o'clock appointment for an oil change may be pushed back, this resulting in longer workdays. Once the day is done, the mechanic still has to clean up their area, and this can end up taking a long time between restocking supplies and cleaning their bay. The shop owners having to deal with their daily chores means that smaller duties that the owner has may be something that the mechanics may have to help them with at closing time. Dealing with customers throughout the day, diagnosing problems with cars can mean that they have less time to work on cars based on how much they spend talking to customers. Some cars may mean high priority, whether they be reoccurring loyal customers or more major problems with the car. If there are major problems, mechanics often stay after closing time to try and get the car finished before the next day. With oil changes all throughout the day, it's often that there may be slippery substances that are spilled in the shop. Slips can still happen and do happen, no matter how cautious. Sharp materials being used in the mechanic shop can cause injuries if not careful. A simple wrong movement can result in a major cut, needed stitches, or even severing a digit. With improper body mechanics, there can be very serious injuries. Back injuries can be the result of heavy lifting as well as strained muscles on nerve damage. Some of the chemicals can be harmful to the skin and eyes. Chemical burns and blindness can be the result of dealing with these chemicals without being careful. Shop owners have many duties outside of a being a regular mechanic. Paying invoices, ordering parts for the shop, setting payroll for employees, last-minute cleanup behind the employees, and locking up the shop can mean late nights for the owners. Customers being happy can make the job a lot easier, but it does not always work out that way. Meeting time restriction can be the reason a customer is angry. If they were told their car would take 2 hours and they end up waiting 7 hours, they may be pretty upset. Sometimes pricing can change if there were not certain materials available, or if underlying problems that also need to be fixed are uncovered once the car begins to be worked on. In some cases, there are parts that are unique to a certain car. This can mean that the shop will have to special order this part and this can delay the job. The most important part of customer satisfaction is making their experience personal, but sometimes on busy days there is less time the mechanic can spend with the customer. Being a mechanic can have a lot of wear and tear on their bodies. Muscle strain and injury can mean lost time on the job or even having to switch careers. Burnout can result from having to work too late multiple times a week, and this can mean the mechanic will end up having to take time off to regroup and take a break. Family time can suffer when their loved one is spending too much time at work. This can result in relationship strain and tension in the household. How can these problems be solved to make the mechanic's life a little bit easier? For prevention of injury, safety precautions can be taken more seriously. There should be a checklist in every bay that the mechanics must follow when they are working with certain materials in the shop. Many of the problems in the mechanics world results from the unawareness of people going to their shops. Many people do not realize the struggles that mechanics go through, and with a simple understanding of the hardships that mechanics face, there's likely to be more pleasant faces walking in and out of the shop every day. Every shop should take into consideration that their mechanics are tired and need a break. This can be made possible by the shops honoring a mechanic day. This would be a day assigned by each shop that will allow for their mechanics to go home, take a break, and spend time with their families. Mechanics face many challenges in their everyday work life. They can be underappreciated without notice, and this can be hard on their lives. Without with facing risk of injury and burnout every day, mechanics should be more appreciated for what they do. Staying open 7 days a week will make for a rough work-life balance, but a mechanic will never turn down a customer in need of help. These are my resources. Thank you for listening.